Thank you for watching and listening. I want to talk about trafficking, and I know some people think it's like not real because Singapore is so safe. I'm telling you, Singapore is just as corrupted as any other country in the world. We are just very ignorant of it. So this acquaintance of mine, nobody believes what I tell them because she has managed to convince everyone, including myself at some point, that she works in the insurance industry, in the back end of insurance industry, that she was a former air stewardess. So I invited them to hang out at the swimming pool. We have dinner and whatnot. When she came, she had an attitude. She didn't bring her towel, and then I lent her whatever a brand new one, and then she kept nitpicking on it. I don't understand why you need to buy this. Why do you need to get it? I don't. You kept going on and on. I was like, come on, you beggars can be choosers, right? But at that point, I was too nice. I just ignore. The most I did was frown. Anyway, the reason why she became very attitude, had a chip on the shoulder, was because she had enough of acting. So after hanging out at the pool and whatnot, we decided to go to have coffee at another place. So myself, it was two other guys and one girl, and the ladies, so total maybe like 5 of us. And the guy who sat across me, opposite me, he suddenly talked about, there's I feel like eating supper. There's a place in JB, Johor Bahru, because Singaporeans regularly cross the border to go to Johor Bahru to shop and whatnot because of currency and maybe the cost or whatever. So didn't think too much. And it was getting late. It was 10:30 onwards. And he never mentioned the name of the place. He would just say, oh, it's somewhere near the petrol area. I want to pump my petrol because it's cheaper to buy petrol from Malaysia. And then know this uncle, he has a restaurant, the supper is good, blah blah blah. And then I was just considering, but I didn't really want to go. In hindsight, I was very stressed out from the work. I didn't realize I was burnt out. I didn't realize I was being gaslit. I didn't realize I was being mentally abused by the colleagues for the lying and manipulation, all that. So the result of the stress is I hang out late and I'm spending more money. And then this woman that claimed to be working in the insurance industry, she sensed that I was hesitating, and then she started saying, what's the issue? What's the problem? Your house is nearby. Just go up and take your passport and go. So he was trying to gaslight me and at the same time make me feel like I'm problematic and I'm making a big issue out of it. I should just go with the flow. And she didn't want to go. The rest didn't want to go. So why are you pushing me to go when you yourself don't want to go? And then she said, I have work, blah, blah, blah. That as though other people don't have work. And I realized one thing. She sat on my right side. He sat in front of me. I caught them, but I was facing in an angle where I got a full view of both of them. And she gave him the look. And they were signaling to one another. And after that, I didn't say yes. I was like, like that. So he came back to the place that I was living at because he parked his car there. I asked him, so what's the address, blah, 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 things like that. And then he suddenly said, I think there's traffic, even though it was very late at night. There's traffic, so he decided not to go. And then she messaged me. So how did you go? And I said, no, because he said, there's traffic, so we decided not to go. At that point, I started getting overwhelmed because I started getting downloads from the universe that girl, both of them were traffickers and that she was a sex worker. So I quickly tried to get in contact with the medium, and then she told me that she's part of a trafficking group and she herself is a sex worker, and the people that she was acquainted with are also part of the ring. So she got, this is my girlfriend. She did try to show me pictures of her girlfriends, and then there are times that we went to a Latin music at the rooftop somewhere at Dhoby Ghaut. a rooftop bar Adobe got, because I like Latin music, Afro beats, right? So the girls, her so-called friends, were all of them. I was told by the medium they were all sex workers. And come to think of it, when I first met them, they gave me the look. The look, they all, these people with low bad intention, they always give you this look. You know, I thought it was odd, I had a bad vibe. And now I understood why when I went to that dancing event, I got exhausted, suddenly drained. Because that's your body trying to tell you, get the hint that these people are not good people. So that's the reason why initially I wanted to dance, and I got, it's okay, I'm more drained, I'm more exhausted. Because my body was trying to warn me. Okay, energy never lies. Maybe they can manipulate it, but most of the time you can tell. That's the reason why it's like in hindsight, no wonder, and things like that. You get that feeling after a while, after it happens, and you realize, oh yeah, no wonder they behave that way, no wonder they gave that look, no wonder I felt like that. So it turned out she was trying to traffic me and other girls as well. So before that, we were acquainted for maybe a year or so, because through this social event, through meetup.com, right? You thought of like expanding your social network and whatnot, and you just don't know whom you meet. So there was one time we were at Clarke Quay, and then over time we just end up talking to one another. She started asking me, I was ranting about this guy because the guy kept staring at my chair. So I was like, oh, this guy is wondering about or not. And she said, oh, so how about this girl? Let's call her Melissa. Let's call her Melissa. What? Don't you think Melissa is so negative? What's about her? What's wrong with her? She's so negative. And then she looked at me like that. So I was, I don't think badly of her, you know. She's just going, she's just looking for a job. And immediately, I could not speak. Immediately, just my throat was blocked. My mouth just went silent. And the thought came to my mind. She's trying to dig for information. Because there's a download from the universe. And then she kept giving me the look. She was studying you, you know. People show you who they are. We always make excuses. They always show you. Sometimes we are stressed out, so we make faces because we are thinking of something else. But other times, they show they show and they say what their intentions are. So she was trying to dig information about another acquaintance in the group. And I recall, it makes sense why she suddenly said that the guy who sat across me when we were having coffee was her friend, was a friend. I was like, you just met him once and then he's your friend? I was like, oh, whatever lah. You see, she already showed, prior to that, she already showed her intention. And then she and this guy, they were like very against marriage. And then she has this thing where she like to make people feel, like manipulate you into thinking you're not cool, you're like not liberal or things like that because you want to get married. If you want to get married, get married. If you don't, you don't. Why are you forcing yourself on your belief system on others, right? So now it makes sense because she cannot get married because of the industry that she is in. And she has been doing it for a long time. This is how she trick and manipulate females by befriending them, digging information about them. Then I recall this one time, she never told us what company she worked for. And then suddenly she asked me, where do you buy your insurance from? What company? And then she was like, what company? What company? Like she was like waiting for you to give an answer, right? And then I just gave whatever on the top of my head. And then she, oh yeah. Then I also work for that company. I also work for that company. I was like, why was the need? Why is this excessive need to validate, right? She's not very calm about it. She's like, yes, you know, the excessive energy. And then the medium told, because I knew it's impossible if both her and the guy were part of the ring. So there must be some more. A medium told me she paid the guy to assist her. See, he's the driver, right? Because he drives the car, so he's the getaway driver. His job was to get the girls to Johor Bahru, and from Johor Bahru they will traffic you out. Because Johor is big, most Singaporeans will just go to Angsana Mall, to KSL Mall, City Square Mall. But Johor, the state of Johor itself is huge. So they can bring you anywhere and you're none the wiser. Then I told her there must be, I know there's more, but I was too overwhelmed to focus my energy on meditating to find out who. Because I was shocked, I was angry, I was shocked, how dare she do this kind of thing? Why didn't I notice this earlier? And then she mentioned this guy. That's how it makes sense. You know why it makes sense? This guy was the one when we went to eat Korean barbecue. He kept complaining that he couldn't find enough girls at the IT seminar. I was like, why do you need to find girls at IT seminar? I thought it was odd. I didn't think too much. And at the same time, he also said that he played violin, because I used to learn violin in the past. I don't remember anything about it. And he said that he learned it casually. And then his answer just doesn't seem right with me. But at the same time, there are people who learn casually, but he couldn't really answer some of the questions. And then his face was like that. Know how people try to convince you, they will just keep shaking their head and things like that. And then he kept trying to get me to contact these male violin teachers. Then I told him, I don't have no intention. I mean, I wish one day maybe I could relearn it again, but at that point, no, because I don't have enough finances for that. And he kept, take his number, okay? Take his number, okay? So when people do this to you, it's a psychological trick to get you to agree with them. I've warned people, some of them call me paranoid, don't believe me. That's up to you, I did my part. So to other people out there, you are, if you know the truth, find a way to say it, up to them to believe or not. Because they can always verify, they can always see for themselves. The medium told me that they have to see it for themselves. You can warn people, but they have to see it for themselves. So just a warning for people out there. Trafficking exists in Singapore. And if you're on meetup.com, be very alert, because it's a group of traffickers and sex workers. They're targeting mostly females, 20s to 30s, specifically females, okay? And these ladies, most of them are Chinese girls in Singapore. And I only recall seeing one Caucasian girl, and one claimed she was from Indonesia. And the mother hen is a Vietnamese woman, because there's another time, way before this, I wanted to organize like rent a yacht and everybody go and barbecue, because I used to organize events like that. And something told me not to. And then because I mentioned it in the group, and then she messaged me personally, say, hey, let's call this lady. Let's call her Buena. Okay, so Buena was like, she said, Buena, she's a Vietnamese lady, her husband is wealthy, and then she has a yacht, why don't you join us, and things like that. And at that point, I was hesitating. My intuition told me, but don't go, something is just not right. I have a very bad feeling about this woman. Trust it. As it turned out that Buena, she's the mother hen. Because in another incident, after I found out all this, I stayed away from that mean girl. So they have another girl. Okay, and then this girl, she just make a beeline for me. There were so many people that she make a beeline for me and just kept, very agitated, very antsy. I was like, what's wrong with this girl? Maybe she's stressed or what? And they all have one thing in common. They always say they work in the financial industry. They used to work in the past. They would like try to dismiss it and whatnot. Because initially we pass it off. Okay, understandable. You don't want to pry for it. You don't want to be a busybody, whatnot. But they were lying the whole time. As it turned out, that girl is also one of them. And that's the reason why she made a beeline for me, and she stuck herself to me all the way. I was like, what's wrong with this girl? I can't shake her off, I tried to stay away from her, and then she kept trying to sit. And then initially, when we sat down, because I happened to sit beside the Vietnamese lady, right? And this girl that was initially always stuck to me, initially I didn't think too much, but I was a bit irritated. I wanted to get her out of my energy, but I was like, whatever. Mistake again. So she was maybe I should see elsewhere, blah blah blah. And then she kept looking at the Vietnamese woman like she was so scared of that girl, that lady, and that lady gave her this look. You know, I was like, it's very suspicious, their behavior, right? So then the girl decided to sit right in front of me, and she was. Then after a while, she said that it's getting late, she needs to go, and it was only 9 plus. I mean, I understand people have their own decisions, but she kept looking at the direction of the lady, the Vietnamese lady, and she was panicking. So come to find out, she's also a sex worker, and they were trying to use her to get to me. So I got fed up. Why is it happening to me again? Why is it? It's exhausting. I got enough shit. I have enough things to deal with. But it has to happen this way because I was the only one in that group that is able to tell, because everybody else is totally ignorant, totally wool pull over their eyes. And it makes sense why the whole time I kept getting urges to talk about trafficking for all those months. And I remember that main girl, the one that I asked him if anybody want to eat Thai food, and then decided to go to Orchard to eat Thai food. And then we went to Orchard Towers just to look around. We ate the Thai food somewhere else. And then when we walked out, I kept telling, even prior to that, I kept wanting people to be more alert at these type of places. And then I kept talking about trafficking, and then she kept looking down. Her lids were pressed thinly together, eyes darting, looking down, but still darting left and right. And her fingers, her hands that was holding the strap, her back strap that was on her shoulder, would tighten, and you can see the knuckle. I was like, what's her? This is odd, but I didn't think too much. I don't show any expression, right? And then immediately, she just looked up and said, "The girls are much more prettier than you." So she was referring to the ladies that have the hostesses at all these shady clubs. So what has it got to do with them being prettier or not? Because she was panicking. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this short. I'm fed up with all this. Call back your energy, cleanse your energy, protect your energy, trust your intuition. Okay, don't be fooled by years. Don't be fooled by people's statuses in life. Don't be fooled by people's religion or how religious they look, how modest they are. Evil comes in all form. Protect your energy. Do the same thing for your family, for your home, for your neighborhood. Listen and set boundaries. Thank you for watching.